Hey, Brandon here. Welcome to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Welcome to week 2 edition of the 2025 Rookie Stock Report. Going to be joined by my podcast co-host, Jason DiRienzo. We're going to give you 4 stock up players and 4 stock down players through 2 weeks of college football. This is going to be a weekly drop on this channel, man. So hit that subscribe button. You play Dynasty. Yeah, that's what we do on this channel. We're taking an early look at the 2025 NFL draft class. That's what we do. We're going to have all sorts of content like this weekly show. We're going to be doing film reviews, top, positional rankings, mock drafts, all sorts of great content for your 2025 rookie drafts. So hit that subscribe button. Let's get to the show. All right, let's talk about our NFL 2025 NFL rookie stock report. All right, I'm going to start off with Quinn Ewers. All right, talked a little bit about the game earlier in the pod, but I'll tell you, man, this guy just had a really, really good game. He showed pocket presence and his maneuverability within the pocket. He was just in control of the entire game. And, he was mechanically sound, threw the ball down the field really nice, feathered in some layered throws in the intermediate parts of the field. But his ball placement, I thought, was really, really good. So his stats here, again, going against Michigan, he was 24-36, completion percentage, 66%, 3 TDs. But I don't know. I'm continuing to look. I mean, these guys and these players. Now, you and I have been kind of hard on Quinn Ewers, thinking that maybe his inconsistency, throwing the ball, and I think we just have to. These quarterbacks that show the ability and show flashes, but have inconsistencies. I don't think we should probably give up on them maybe as much as we do. I think because they all. I love the fact that all these quarterbacks are staying later and later in college. I think it's a really good thing. And I think Ewers really had a nice game against Michigan. Could be one of the, tougher defenses he sees all year, but a stock up for Quinn Ewers. I mean, I think he's going to be a first round draft pick.
God, here we go. Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I also think that Texas has done a good job, man. Kelvin Banks is definitely going to be a top 5 left tackle going into the NFL draft. Matthew Golden, Isaiah Bond, 2 great transfers that I think are helping Quinn Ewers out. So it's a surrounding cast, but it's Ewers maximizing that surrounding cast. So good on him, and he's making good decisions. I am going to pick UNLV wide receiver Ricky White as my stock up. And yeah, it was Utah Tech where he had 111 receiving yards this past weekend with 3 touchdowns. But it's what he does on the field, and it's how he wins. He was wide open for one of them, but at the same time, I watched the routes and I watched the acceleration, and I really like the manipulation that he has. When he gets close to a defender, he knows exactly how to he understands the art of jab stepping and evading as necessary and really playing with the hips of the defender. That is something I really like to see. And I think he's got the athleticism and the twitch to really be great after the catch. So Ricky White to me is a guy that probably we're going to be talking about, as a later, probably most likely a day 3 type of guy. But I do think that if he gets on an NFL team and he gets more coaching, we can see something really special. So Ricky White to me is definitely a stock up.
Yeah, I love this call because on my dashboard, Luigi Tadone is someone who I watch film with occasionally, and we looked at his 2023 all 22 film and did a film breakdown for my dashboard subscribers, and we both came away really impressed. I mean, with his body control and the really strong hands, and he's on the lighter side, but he's got that physicality and grit that you see.
Yeah.
Which
that's a great point.
Was made me a believer. So I love that call with Ricky White. I think he could be a sneaky guy as we approach the 2025 draft. So my second stock up NFL player, and this guy could be on our Devy report, but I put him on here is because I think Jonah Coleman from Washington is maybe a prospect, Jason, that me and you need to watch a little bit more film on. You and I have not done like a film review on Coleman, but I mean, he's just killing it so far through two games. He's got 231 yards, 3 TDs. I've always liked Jonah Coleman. You remember he was at Arizona for 2 years, transfers to Washington. And I just love his play style. I mean, he's low to the ground. He's physical. He's got some lateral movement ability, some burst. He's got some ball skills, out of the backfield as well. 6 receptions on the season already through 2 games. So Jonah Coleman is a kind of he's a deeper name here for our 2025 NFL draft. Most likely he'll come back for his senior year, but man, keep your eye on Jonah Coleman. I mean, I like what I see, and I think this running back room is so deep this year. So I'm just going to throw his name into the hat. But I could see him being an early day 3 pick if he continues to produce like he is.
Yeah, I honestly think this is a great call because I watched a lot of Jonah Coleman from last year, and I never took him seriously because I was concerned about the athleticism. He looks different this year.
Mhm.
He's moving much more fluidly. I like what I'm seeing too. I can't deny it. So I think this is a guy we're going to be talking about a little bit more come as the season progresses. My next guy is going to be Arande Gadsden, the Syracuse tight end. This kid had a catch in this past game that was unbelievable. I mean, the hands are so strong. At at the point of attack in contested situations, I'm not sure if anybody can beat this kid. He's got the length, he's got that vertical explosion that I really like to see. He's a long strider for a tight end. He just looks like a fantasy tight end, not a guy that is going to be asked to block a lot or different things. Like he is going to be like as a receiver at the next level, I believe. And for
Mhm.
fantasy, I love that, and I love the athleticism that this kid displays every single week. I mean, coming back from when he was out last year, he looks like he hasn't skipped a beat. So Arande Gadsden, I'm all about it, man. I think this kid's absolutely a climber.
Yeah, it looks like his stats here. He played the slot 62%. So, like you said, he's going to
Yeah,
be probably more of a receiver. And
I
of
can
course,
see it.
for tight ends, that's what we like. So, all right, there's our 4 stock up players. So, our stock down players are just players maybe that aren't living up to the billing after 2 weeks, just to at least keep guys on the radar and keep everybody abreast of their progress for the season. I'm going to go with Alec Manor just as my stock down. Not that I'm fading the guy as a player, but through 2 games, he's got 147 yards, no touchdowns, and I've watched his last 2 games. And I know there's a lot of excitement about Alec Manor and what he did against Colorado last year. Had some really nice games last year. He's just one of those bigger receivers that has some speed a little bit, but the movement skills are something I'm just a little concerned about. I'm just not as high on him. And again, watching the game, he played TCU and Cal Poly the first 2 weeks. I've watched both of these games. A lot of these, receiving yardage is, very short to the line of scrimmage where he's kind of running with the ball. We know he's got the ball skills and stuff, but I'm really waiting for that first explosive game. I'm not like dropping him down my ranks or anything like that, but again, Alec Manor, I'd like to see some more production and some real explosive plays on the field.
Hopefully we see a little bit more from him as the season goes on. And my last guy is gonna, or I'm sorry, not my last guy. My first guy is gonna be Barry and Brown. It's more so fantasy for me. I think that the NFL is gonna view him more as a special teamer than the actual starting receiver at this point. I know when you and I did our breakdown of him, like drops were a concern,
Right.
and honestly, I mean, I think he's a good separator, but I don't think he's phenomenal at it. I don't think he's got the nuance really down as a route runner either. And the limited opportunity he's going to have with Brock Vandergriff under center with the 30 yards passing that he had in this last game is definitely going to be a concern. I just don't know where the targets are going to come from and how he's going to continue developing without production opportunity the way it should be. So Barry and Brown, to me, I think he's going to be viewed just more so as that special teamer if nothing, continues to progress for him this upcoming season.
Yeah, he's had a very, very quiet season so far, but
Yeah.
Vandegrift isn't helping that situation either.
No, not at all.
Again, the quarterback just can't get these kids the ball. So my second stock down, this pains me, but I got to go with Ben Urasek of Georgia, the tight end.
Oh, it pains me too, man.
Man,
Oh,
it really does. I mean, again,
what a waste of talent right now,
well, you know what?
honestly.
You're right. I mean, we just kind of talked about Oscar Delp earlier, as far as in our Devy report, and the whole tight end room right now I think it's just going to be a timeshare with all 3 of these guys, and I'm not sure any one of them are going to emerge. And I think for Ben Yurcek, I mean, he made some really good plays at Stanford over the years. I mean, I was really
Mhm.
excited, and it's early. And again, I'm not fading these players, everybody, just because they are the stock down.
Right.
I'm just disappointed that we have yet to see. I mean, he's had no involvement after 2 weeks. And these these teams that they're playing are really easy the first 2 weeks. So it would be nice to, well, Clemson wasn't, I guess, easy, but I guess it was because they whooped their ass. But Ben Yurcek, right? I mean,
Right.
when I was just I got to see some wow moments, man, for me to get back on the
Yeah.
train. It's just the way it is. So he's got to be my stock. He's my second stock down for the NFL report.
And it's crazy to think that he would be better off at Stanford right now than at Georgia. I never would have expected that.
Mm.
Um, my last guy's gonna be Shedeur Sanders. I mean, this is kind of just obvious that the progressional reads, he forces some throws. He had one throw that was behind his receiver that should have been really easy. I honestly, I don't know what to make of Sanders at this point. You see the talent. Like, I'm not gonna say he's not talented or he can't be an NFL quarterback, but I think we just need to kind of tame our expectations of what he can be and how he's gonna develop, because when he's under pressure, he does well at times, and sometimes he just looks like he's going to completely fall apart. So the inconsistency is definitely going to be a problem, but I don't know what to make of Shedeur Sanders moving forward as a NFL quarterback. I mean, he's probably going to be a first round pick when it's all said and done. I just don't. I don't feel comfortable. I just don't feel comfortable with Sanders, man.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, I mean, on the field is one thing, but I think off the field is equally concerning. I mean,
It's just a
I mean,
weird situation
well,
with
I mean,
him.
he was interviewed just this past week after, alluding to his offensive line isn't helping him and, just, his
Yeah,
father's
that's not a leader.
involvement and stuff. Nah, and I just, do you really want prime in your business as an NFL owner? I don't know if I want the hassle of it, to be honest with you. I really don't.
There's
And if he's
no way I would.
and if he's
No.
not an elite talent and he doesn't show week to week just really good play, I'll tell you, an NFL franchise is going to have to think long and hard before they take him on, honestly, because I think
Uh,
me, I'm all about intangibles matter. And I just don't know if he's been a spoiled bitch, I think, his whole life, to be honest with you. So, no, seriously. I mean, you come
No,
from
I know. I
that
mean, some of the
pedigree.
things you're saying, yeah, some of the things he's saying in the media, I mean, it's hard to deny what you just said, you know?
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
kinda crazy.
so, yeah. So, I guess
Yeah,
you can tell I feel a little strong about it. But in any case,
just a little bit.
yep, there is our 2025 NFL draft stock report for week 2.